Over the course of more than a decade, Luke Bryan has dominated country radio, packed arenas, and released hit after smash. Luke Bryan is not the type of artist who would be able to relax, coast on nostalgia, and spin his greatest hits collection as many other artists do in their latter years, despite the fact that he has more than 30 singles that have reached #1 on the charts. The opposite is true. He approaches the subject not as a legend looking back, but rather as an artist who is still in motion, still hungry, and still lit up by the same fire that blazed inside of him long before the world knew his name. This is how he approaches the conversation as he gets down behind the microphone to co-host Backstage Country with Elena Smith. What's the unexpected reality? Even after all of his touring honors and platinum certifications, Luke Bryan still gets goosebumps like he's the newborn in town in Nashville. The songs that excite him the most are not always the ones that have been the most successful. Rather, they are the ones that remind him of the reasons he is still here after all these years. For him, it is the tunes that bring back his sense of youth. These songs are the ones that never seem to get old. It is the songs that serve as a constant reminder of his identity as an artist, storyteller, entertainer, and dreamer. In addition, every once in a while, a song may appear that comes across as being reminiscent of Luke Bryan. This is the point at which the story starts. The one that retains the distinct flavors of saltwater and sunshine. There is no song that better exemplifies the intensity that Luke Bryan possesses than One Margarita. In no way is it poetic. It is not easy to handle. There is no attempt to be meaningful in this. The ice beverages, the sandy feet, the sweat trickling down the bottle, the sunshine hitting just the right spot, and that golden moment when the music is loud enough to drown out every last stress in your thoughts are all elements that make this particular time capsule the ideal representation of summer. Luke considers a song like this to be more than just a music, rather it is a way of life. Whenever he makes something that has the sensation of being at home on a boat, by a pool, or in the crowd at his very own Crash My Playa festival in Mexico, he experiences a sense of rebirth that is almost reminiscent of a childish awakening, an exhilaration that permeates the entire body, the kind of rush that cannot be created or mimicked in any way and shape. At that same instant, when he first heard One Margarita, he experienced a spark that was unadulterated and entirely unfiltered. Chart strategy and radio analytics were not relevant to the situation. It came from the gut. It was a source of energy. It was the atmosphere. Mainly due to the fact that the true measurement of this kind of song is not in numbers, but rather in people dancing, arms raised, drinks clinking, and feet pounding in the sand when neon lights are on. When it comes to country music, there are very few songs that have ever managed to capture the essence of a tropical, beer-soaked, sunburned to perfection good time quite like this one. This is the reason why Luke continues to fantasize about releasing a special edition of the song called Crash My Playa at some point in the future. In addition, Luke considers One Margarita to be more than just his own personal hit album. Kenny Chesney's summer anthems are songs that literally live on boats, bonfires, and 4th of July playlists. This song also belongs to the tradition of Kenny Chesney's summer anthems. These are the kinds of songs that country music lovers don't just listen to. They live inside of them. Moreover, Luke Bryan is the only person who truly comprehends the magnitude of the impact that feeling may have. A song that not only disobeyed the rules, but also disobeyed the internet. Country Girl, Shake It For Me, was a song that was released a long time before streaming became the dominant form of music consumption, before Spotify and TikTok dominated the charts. Moreover, it was not merely a hit, rather, it was a tsunami. Luke Bryan went from being a budding star to becoming the king of the stadium, and paradoxically, it became one of the songs that was downloaded illegally the most during that time period. The event was not streamed by millions of people. They did not agree with it. They took it without permission. This is not the only time, not only for a week's time. On the other hand, week after week, year after year. When the data were first compiled, it appeared that the song was being downloaded illegally 20 million times every single week. That would be a catastrophe for the great majority of artists. It was a lesson for Luke, one that taught him how powerful a song could be when the audience doesn't just listen to it, but needs it, Luke said. Because this is the reality that every celebrity eventually comes to understand. You have no control over the manner in which people find your music. You have the ability to control whether or not they remember it. Moreover, they recalled the song Country Girl. It turned out to be a pivotal moment in his career. It was not merely a hit. Rather, it was a transformation. The kind that guarantees a song will continue to be played on the radio for a very long time after it has been played. This is the kind of song that ensures a performer will continue performing it when they are old and grey, going onto the stage at half the speed yet still beaming at full brightness during their performance. Luke makes jokes about singing the song when he is 80 years old, stumbling onto the stage with his cowboy boots and a sense of humor about his knees. However, a quiet reverence is ingrained within the jokes that he makes. Not all songs have a time limit. There are some tunes that never get old. The right tunes can carry you. It is Country Girl that he considers to be that tune. A profession that is constructed on vibes, risks, and total gut instinct. It's not always the case that the songs that thrill Luke Bryan the most are the ones that suit the mold. It is not a formulaic approach. They are not able to be predicted. Indeed, the majority of them most likely frightened somebody at the label before they were made available to the public. On the other hand, Luke did not create his career by avoiding danger. Rather, he built it by taking risks. The reason for this is that songs such as Margarita and Country Girl do not sound how country music used to sound, yet they are the ones that define what country music evolved into. It's a loud noise. They spread quickly throughout. Instead of wallowing in misery, they rejoice. They bring people together rather than wallowing in the sorrow of what has been lost. Luke Bryan was instrumental in causing the genre to move in the direction of something that was more unabashedly joyous, and as a result, he established a path that can only be driven by him. Despite the passage of time, he continues to get energized by the songs that remind him of the reasons he began. These are songs that pay homage to his background, while yet having the sense that they belong somewhere else. Rhythms that are just as daring as the lyrics. Songs that not only make the audience sing, but also make them yell. While it is true that commercial accomplishments are important, it is not the commercial successes themselves that excite him after all these years. The thrill originates from something more fundamental and less complicated. Do people experience any feelings? When do they move? Do they go out to parties? For a period of 3 minutes, do people forget about their problems? This is the level of measurement. So it is the inheritance. He is still the young man on the farm, but he is the man behind the hits. The fact that Luke Bryan is now selling out arenas, serving as a judge on American Idol, and headlining large festivals may be difficult to fathom, but it all began with a little boy who had a passion for crafting stories in song form and always dreamed of letting other people experience the same emotions that he did when music appeared at the right time. Success is visible to the people. The sophisticated production, the large logos, and the enormous audiences are all visible to them. But what about Luke? When he was a teenager, he had a dream of sounding like Alabama, playing like Garth Brooks, and having just one excellent song become popular enough to be played on the radio. He sees that version of himself. Despite all the glitz and glamour that has been a part of his career, including bright lights, beach parties, and stadium speakers, the thing that continues to thrill him the most is the invention itself. At the precise time when a tune becomes clear. As soon as a lyric is discovered, the complete song is revealed. The very first time he experiences the crowd singing it back to him. Because Luke Bryan is not limited by the things that he has accomplished in the past. The things that he enjoys doing are what define him. Even now, music can give him the shivers. He continues to be roused from sleep by music. Despite this, ideas continue to elicit excitement rather than pressure. And this is precisely the reason why he is still present. For a man who has already accomplished everything, what does the future hold for him? Watching Luke Bryan talk about music, not as a brand, a business, or a legacy, is like witnessing a rare type of enchantment. Listening to him talk about music is like watching a live, developing spark. It is possible that he will joke about having all of his wits by the time he is 80 years old. Yet, the truth lurks beneath the humor. He anticipates that he will still be singing. He anticipates that he will continue to be writing. It is expected of him that he will continue to respond to music as a fan first and an artist second. Mostly due to the fact that the fire has not changed despite being in the spotlight for decades. He continues to be in search of music that have the power to hit like a wave, songs that cause the windows to shake, and songs that make the world feel lighter for a short period of time. Even now, he is looking forward. When he hears a new idea, he continues to get excited. In spite of this, he continues to construct each show as if it were someone's first and something else's last. What are the songs that he enjoys listening to the most? The hits are not the only ones. Recollections that have been turned to music. Music that have disguised as party music are actually human experiences. Without a doubt, they are the epitome of liberty, excitement, and happiness. This is Luke Bryan's legacy. They are still living, growing, and developing. Concluding remarks. It doesn't matter if it's a sun-scorched anthem like One Margarita or a genre-shifting behemoth like Country Girl. Luke Bryan is well aware of the songs that keep him alive as an artist. They are the ones who cause people to shout lyrics above the music rather than singing along quietly if they are listening to it. They are the ones that are downloaded through unlawful means because fans simply could not wait any longer. They are the ones that are blasted on lakes, beaches, bar patios, and virtually any other place where folks from the country congregate to forget about the outside world for a short period of time. Their songs are the ones that even he gets excited about. Because even after 30 #1 hits, stadium tours, honors, and other significant achievements, Luke Bryan's greatest secret is that he continues to feel like a fan with each